If you're like me, you've lost weight countless times only to gain all or most of it back within 6 months. That was my life starting in my early 20s. Today, we're talking about using reverse dieting as a tool to keep the weight from coming back on. Just a reminder, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. I'm a founder, a certified personal trainer, and a former CrossFit coach who navigated my own perimenopause journey without a roadmap. I lost 30 pounds of fat and gained a pound of muscle through a combination of diet, GLP-1s, and weightlifting. I've maintained my goal weight of 135 and 18% body fat for over 2 years. Everything in this video is education, not medical advice. If you are on a GLP-1, on HRT, or managing any type of medical condition, talk to your doctor before changing your diet. Now let's talk about reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is the slow, deliberate way to step off a cut. After you hit your goal weight, you don't want to jump straight back into the calories you were eating before the cut. You add calories back in small increments, about 100 per week, while you watch the scale and your measurements. You keep adding until the scale stops dropping. That number, the one where your weight finally holds steady, is your new maintenance. The whole process takes 2 to 4 months, sometimes longer. It feels slow. It's supposed to feel slow because the alternative is what most of us have done at least once, which is finish a diet, eat the way we used to, and gain it all back. I've struggled with my weight since I was in my 20s. It didn't help that I came from a family that was highly critical of a woman's looks. I was always under a microscope, always feeling inadequate, so I diet constantly. But I didn't have the tools or the knowledge of how to keep it off. It was more than just an adherence problem. It was also a math problem. What finally broke the loop for me were 3 things in this order. First, a GLP-1, Zepbound, which I started in 2023. It quieted the food noise I had had all my life and made the deficit livable. Second, lifting heavy weights. And third was this, reverse dieting back to a maintenance number that was honest about what my body could actually hold. Reverse dieting gave me a strategy to use so that I didn't go back to eating the same way that got me overweight in the first place. According to Stanford Medicine, 80 to 85% of people who lose a significant amount of weight will regain most or all of it within 1 to 5 years. That is not a moral failure. That is biology. When you lose weight, 3 things happen in your body, and all 3 of them push you back towards your starting weight. 1, your resting metabolic rate drops. A smaller body burns fewer calories at rest. This is just physics. A 150-pound woman burns roughly 200 to 300 fewer calories a day than the 190-pound version of herself. And that's before she even gets out of bed. 2, your hormones shift, making you hungrier and less full. Leptin, the satiety hormone, drops. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, rises. Your brain literally pushes harder for food than it did before the cut. 3, something called adaptive thermogenesis. Your body becomes more efficient. The same workout you used to do burns fewer calories. You fidget less, you sit more, you move less without noticing it. Researchers tracked the Biggest Loser contestants for 6 years after their show ended. Their metabolisms were still suppressed years later, burning hundreds of calories less per day than predicted for their size. Most of them regained all their weight. This is the cliff every dieter walks off when they finish a cut. If you go back to your old eating habits, you're now eating in surplus, even though it feels like the same plate. This is the line I want you to remember. Your maintenance calories at 135 are not the same as someone else's maintenance calories at 135 who's never had to lose weight. Your body remembers being heavier. The adaptations stick around. The hormone shift can persist for a year or more. The gap is where the regain happens. Reverse dieting is how you find your real number instead of guessing. You add calories back slowly, you watch the scale, and the number where the scale holds steady is the honest answer. Not the calculator, not the influencer's numbers, yours. Here's the lever that works in your favor: muscle. Every pound of skeletal muscle you carry burns roughly 6 to 10 calories a day at rest. That's small per pound, but it stacks. Add 10 pounds of muscle, and you've raised your daily burn by 60 to 100 calories a day, every day, forever, without trying. That's not magic. That is metabolic real estate. The women in maintenance who hold their loss for years are not the women who eat the least. They are the women who lift. They built muscle during or after the cut, and now they get to eat more food without the scale climbing. Cardio is great, but cardio only burns calories while you're doing it. Lifting builds the engine that burns calories while you're doing nothing. Both matter, one compounds. Here's the protocol. Step 1, when you hit your goal weight, stop the cut. Whatever calorie number you finished your cut at, that is where you want to start the reverse diet. Do not jump. Step 2, add 100 calories a day for 1 week. Watch the scale. Weigh in at least twice a week, same time, fasted. The scale will fluctuate, so average your weigh-ins at the end of the week, and that'll give you a real number. Step 3, the next week, add another 100 calories a day. Watch the scale again. Keep doing this every week until you stop losing weight. Most women find that this process takes 2 to 4 months, sometimes longer if you're also adding training intensity, because as you build muscle, your maintenance number creeps up, which is exactly what you want. If you're using the EvolveHer app, your protein macros are already set for your goal weight. If this sounds like a lot of math, it is. That is exactly what we're building the EvolveHer app to handle. In one of our future releases, when you finish your cut in the app, EvolveHer will move you into a guided reverse diet phase. We add the 100 calories a week for you. We watch your scale and your measurements, and we tell you when to hold and when to add more. We pull your training and your sleep and your food into one picture so that you can see what is actually moving the number and what is just water and timing. This is the phase that nobody else builds for. Most fitness apps drop you the moment you hit your goal weight. We start there because that is where the real work begins. Maintenance is a multi-year journey. The cut was just the warm-up. If you're not already in our community, come find us. There's links in the comments. 3 things to take with you. 1, your new maintenance is not your old maintenance. The math has changed. The body remembers. 2, reverse dieting is the slow walk back. 100 calories a week, watch the scale. Patience wins. 3, build muscle. It's the only lever that gives you more food without more fat. Next week, the finale of the series, Maintenance in Life After a Deficit. If this helped, hit subscribe and send it to one woman who has lost weight and is scared of what happens next. See you next week. Thank you.